Can you see on that one?
Yeah, the light's just really bright behind it.
Is it? Okay. Hold on. Might be on. Oh no, I don't. Maybe this one. Alright. Don't be looking at me. Martin Luther King Jr., born January 15, 1929, and died April 4, 1968, was born Michael Luther King Jr., but later had his name changed to Martin. His grandfather became the family long teacher as pastors of the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, serving from 1914 to 1931. His father has served from then until the present, and from 1960 until his death, Martin Luther acted as co-pastor. Martin Luther attended segregated public schools in Georgia, graduated from high school at the age of 15. He received the BA degree in 1948 from Morehouse College, a distinguished Negro institution of Atlanta, from which both his father and grandfather had graduated. After 3 years of theological study at Cruiser Theological Seminary in Pennsylvania, where he was elected president of predominantly white senior class, he was awarded the bachelor degree in 1951. With a fellowship won at Cruiser, he enrolled in graduate studies at Boston University, completing his residence for the doctorate in 1953. And receiving the degree in 1955. In Boston, he met and married Coretta Scott, a young woman of uncommon intellectual and artistic attainments. 2 sons and 2 daughters were born into the family. In 1954, Martin Luther King became the pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. Always a strong worker for civil rights for members of his race, King was, by this time, a member of the executive committee of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the leading organization of its kind in the nation. He was ready then, early in December 1955, to accept the leadership of the first great Negro nonviolent demonstration of contemporary times in the United States. The bus boycotted, described by Gunnar John in his presentation speech in honor of the Lariat. The boycott lasted 382 days. On December 21, 1956, after the Supreme Court of the U.S. had declared unconstitutional laws requiring segregation on buses, Negroes and whites rode the buses as equal. During these days of boycott, King was arrested. His home was bombed. He was subjected to personal abuse, but at the same time, he emerged as a Negro leader of the first rank. In 1957, he was elected president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, an organization formed to provide new leadership for the now burgeoning civil rights movement. The ideals of the organization he took from Christianity, its operational techniques from Gandhi. In the 11-year period between 1957 and 1968, King traveled over 6 million miles and spoke over 2,500 times, appearing wherever there was injustice, protest, and action. Meanwhile, he wrote 5 books as well as numerous articles. In these years, he led a massive protest in Birmingham, Alabama, that caught the attention of the entire world, providing what he called a coalition of conscience and inspiring his letter from a Birmingham jail, a manifest of the Negro Revolution. He planned the drives in Alabama from the registration of Negroes as voters. He directed the peaceful march on Washington, D.C. of 250,000 people whom he delivered his address, I Have a Dream. He conferred with President J.F.K. and campaigned for President Lyndon B. Johnson. He was arrested upon several charges upwards of 20 times and assaulted at least 4 times. He was awarded 5 honorary degrees, was named Man of the Year by Time magazine in 1963, and became not only the symbolic leader of American blacks, but also world figure. At the age of 35, Martin Luther King Jr. was the youngest man to have received the Nobel Peace Prize. When justified of his selection, he announced that he would turn over his prize money of $54,000 to the furtherance of the civil rights movement. On the evening of April 4, 1968, while standing on the balcony of the motel room in Memphis, Tennessee, where he was led to protest march in sympathy with striking garbage workers of that city, he was assassinated.